I want to talk today about what I would do if I had to start over. If I had to start my business from scratch, what I've learned over the last 4.5 years on what I would do versus what I wouldn't do, because I've made a lot of mistakes over the past 4.5, 5 years of building my online business and coaching. And I would definitely do some things differently. So let's dive into that today. There's a lot of talk about recession, whether it's looming. Some people say it's coming. Some people say it's already here. And I do know people that are feeling the effects of it. So I wanted to dive into this topic for any of you that are, just starting out in your business, or maybe you're thinking of pivoting in your business and you're like, what should I do? What should I focus on? What are the key things I should focus on in my business? So this is what I would do if I had to start over. The first thing would be I would go live. That's one thing I did not do. I was so scared of going live and showing up live to my audience because I had a fear of being seen, such a huge fear of being seen, that I stayed in the shadows. And I wanted to build a business online because I wanted to stay home with my kids. That was my why. I wanted to be home for them and with them, because that's what I had been doing before my divorce. I was home with my kids. I was able to be there for their activities, be there at their school, take them to their activities, be home with them every night, every day. And I wanted to keep that. I wanted to maintain that. And it took me a while to get there. But I didn't realize when I decided, I'll do coaching, I'll do what I know and I'll focus on what I know and helping people through that process. And I didn't realize that in order to get clients, and in order for people to know that you exist, you had to actually show up online. And one of the best ways of doing that is by going live. So I had a huge fear of it. I was paralyzed by it. And it really held me back in my business because it kept people from getting to know me. And at the end of the day, you can offer everything till the cows come home, but if people don't resonate with you, and they don't feel like they know you, or they don't know anything about you, it's really impossible to enroll clients into your offer, into your services. So that's one thing I would do, is definitely from the beginning, go live, let people know that I exist. Let them know what I stand for. Let them get to know me as a person, as a mom, as what was important to me, as well as the value that I can bring to them and the transformation that I could create. So that would be the first thing, is by going live and also showing up on video. You can even record it. You don't even have to go live at the beginning, although I do recommend that. That's the best and quickest way of getting out there. And there's no second takes. You literally go live, and it is what it is. And you get to learn how to laugh at yourself and fail forward and have fun in the process, and not take yourself so seriously when you're going live versus when you're doing video. However, I would do video too, if I had to do it over again, because that's one thing I was scared to do too. I was hiding behind posts. And at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons I created this podcast, Be She. It's be seen, be heard, be empowered, because of the things that I went through at the beginning of my business of hiding behind posts and things like that, versus getting out there and being seen and letting my voice be heard. So that would be number two. Number one. Number two would be to build an email list, because an email list is really, really important, because of just case in point, about a year and a half ago, I think it was about a year and a half ago, Facebook and Instagram went down, and we literally lost all access to our audience in a split second for about 24 hours. So in that case, those of us who had an email list were still able to communicate and make our offers to our email list, our audience who we were communicating through that list. If you don't have an email list, it's really hard to continue nurturing that relationship. And if social media, we don't own it. We don't own social media. So it's really important that we have access to our own list of audience, so that if social media goes down, or for some reason you are taken off social media. I've seen that happen to entrepreneurs where they're shut down and they lose access in a split second to their online social media audience. However, if they have that email list, it's easy to just move on to that, go to that list and keep communicating through email and continue making offers through email. So email list would be definitely number two. And I could do that consistently. That's one thing I didn't do in my business. I did do it right away. I started building an email list, but I wasn't consistent with it. So I would definitely continue and be consistent with building that email list, because people are going to rotate on and off of that list. People will unsubscribe as we all evolve. So whether we're evolving as an entrepreneur or our audience is evolving into their needs are changing, that audience will rotate. So it's always important to keep consistently building that list, building that relationship through an email list. The third thing would be to collaborate, connect with people, connect with other entrepreneurs, and collaborate. And I didn't do that right away because, again, my fear of being seen, I was super shy. And I felt like, who am I to be doing this? I felt like everybody was better than me. I had a lot of these limiting beliefs that kept me from reaching out and connecting with other entrepreneurs. And I lone wolfed it for a really long time. And that really slows down your progress. You can definitely move faster in building your business and gaining clients and growing your online business by using the power of collaboration. Because one, you get to build relationships and connection. And in itself, entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey because you're literally at home doing this on your own if you're virtual, which I am. And so you don't have a lot of connection with other people in the space unless you're making those relationships happen, unless you're connecting with entrepreneurs. And two, the power of leveraging other people's audiences. So by collaborating, by going live with another entrepreneur that does something similar to you, you can leverage each other's audiences and get in front of people that you otherwise may not have had the opportunity to get in front of. And you can make your offers. You can grow your audience. You can invite them to follow you on a certain social media platform. You can make an offer, a direct offer, if that's what you have going on right now. If you're an open cart or you have an open enrollment into something, you can make that offer. So collaborations is super key. At the end of the day, business, whether you're brick and mortar or whether you're virtual, business is relationships. Business is personal. So it's really important that you're building those and cultivating relationships online, just as you would in an in-person atmosphere. You want to be doing that virtually as well. So I would definitely do that a lot sooner than I had started that process. And the fourth thing what I would do is find a mentor who taught visibility and client acquisition. Like that would be something that I would focus on right away. Having a website, having automation in your business, having all of the tactical stuff, that like the techie stuff, isn't super important when you're starting. You don't have to be dumping a lot of money into those things at the beginning. Are they good to have? Absolutely. However, at the beginning, when you're first starting, it's really important that you are being seen and getting your message out there and sharing what you're good at and how you can, what process, what transformation you can move people through. And so you can gain clients, so you can fund your business. So that way you don't have a hobby, right? You don't have a business until there's revenue coming in. So unless you're bringing revenue in, you have a hobby. And I don't know about you, but I don't want another hobby. I like my hobbies. I don't need any more. I want my business generating revenue. So I would definitely be bringing on a mentor that was focused on visibility and client acquisition from the beginning. And the next thing I would do is focus on one goal and not spend money on all these different courses. I would focus on one thing at a time. For example, if it's client acquisition, messaging, whatever, I wouldn't be buying all these different courses because I had shiny object syndrome, where I would just like, this course would be this much and this course. So I would buy these little courses that gave me a small piece of my puzzle. And it really held me back. So if I'm going to invest, I would invest in a mentor, like I said, that would focus on visibility and acquisition to get me the full transformation that I want to do, which is getting clients, right? That's the process I want. I don't need a small, course at the beginning on just Instagram or a small course on XYZ. I needed the whole package. So, and when I started, I was hiring mentors who were giving me a really small piece of the puzzle. So it took me a while to put it all together. You know how you're putting a puzzle together piece by piece? That's what I was doing in the business. And if you have a mentor that can give you that full transformation at once, you're going to move through the process faster. You're going to get clients and you're going to start building a business and generating the revenue that you want to generate, so that then you can reinvest that revenue, that money that you're bringing in, into all the other things, like maybe social media support with a VA or a marketing agency, or a website where you can hire somebody to actually do that because that's what they're really good at. But from the beginning, I would focus on investing in mentorship before I would focus in on anything else inside of my business. The next thing I would do is get out of my own way. Get out of my own way. I would journal a lot sooner than I started journaling, because once I started journaling and practicing gratitude, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So this kind of goes hand in hand. The last two pieces would be getting out of my own way. I held myself back for so long, worried about what other people would think, when honestly, they probably weren't. They probably would have cheered me on. I just never gave them the opportunity, because I held myself back from stepping out and getting into the light for people to see me and hear me, because I was too scared of what other people would think. Who is she to be doing this? What does she know? And why would she, why is she doing this? And how is she good enough to even coach someone else? Right. Or, I was so worried about what I thought other people would think that I really sat back for a long, long time and kept myself from really helping people. And that was selfish. That was really selfish of me. I would focus outward. I would focus on serving. When you're focused on serving, it's really hard to be stuck in your own shit. Honestly, when you're focused on serving, it's really hard to be stuck in your own stuff, because you're focused out. And when we're focused out, we're able to help transform other people and get out of our own way to do it. So by really worried about what other people were thinking, I was being selfish, because I was holding myself back from helping others move through a transformation that I could have helped them move through. So who knows how many people out there were not helped, or they were helped with somebody that maybe didn't help them as well as I could have, because I was stuck in my own shit. So that's another thing. That's definitely what I would do sooner than later if I had to start all over again. And the last thing would be, I just mentioned it, is practicing gratitude. I definitely thought that was woo-woo. I'm like, that doesn't work. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you're not doing it, I did a podcast segment on this already. It's all about the power and practice of gratitude. And once I started doing it, it was amazing the miracles that showed up. Also, when you're in gratitude, you can't be stuck in your stuff. It's really hard to be sad. It's hard to be mad. It's hard to be depressed. It's impossible to be any of those things when you are in gratitude. So I would urge you, if you're not practicing gratitude, then please grab a piece of paper. It doesn't, I have a journal. It doesn't have to be a journal right from the beginning. You can grab a piece of paper, you can get a notebook, just get started and write out what you're grateful for. It could be a few things. It could be one thing. I recommend when you're starting to try and get 3. I know when we're stuck in our stuff, it's hard to even find things that we're grateful for. But it could be so simple as, I'm grateful for that it's a sunny day. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my good night's sleep. I'm grateful for my car, that it works to get me from point A to point B, and then you can start getting, then as you get used to doing it, it'll flow much more easily. And then what I do is I write down what I'm grateful for now in the present, like my children, the love in my life, my clients that I'm consistently serving now, or my new roof that I just got. I'm grateful for my new roof. And then I also I let that flow into being grateful for things I don't have yet, right? So it's my future gratitude is what it's called. And I'm grateful for those things as if they've already happened now. So for example, I want a new pool for my kids. I'm grateful for my new pool. I don't have it yet, but I'm grateful for it as if it's already happened. And when I've done this, which I've done this a lot, it's amazing how the things that I'm grateful for in the future, but I'm grateful for it as it's already happened now, it shows up. Because the universe, God, your angels, whatever you call it, they start opening the doors for those things to happen, whether it's bringing in the financial support to get you those things or to get you there, or it's bringing in the people that will support you on getting you there, or it's just opening doors for new opportunities that will help get you there. So practice of gratitude is really, really powerful. And the practice of future gratitude is unbelievably powerful, because you'll be really amazed at what you manifest by being in gratitude now for things that you want in the future, but as if it's already happened, because your brain, your subconscious doesn't know whether it's true or not. And if that's the case, which it's true fact, your subconscious does not know whether something is true or not. It believes what you're telling it. So if that's the case, why not tell it what the big things that you want? Why not let your brain believe that you already have these amazing things that you want? I'm grateful for the 50 clients I'm serving. I'm grateful for the 1,000 clients that I'm serving. I'm grateful for the clients that are consistently enrolling into my business. I'm into my programs. I'm grateful for the money that's consistently flowing into my bank account. Like those things that you don't have yet, but that you want, but you're grateful for them now as if they've already happened. So those are the things that I would, if I had to start all over again, that's what I would do. First, I would definitely focus on being live. Just to recap, going live and showing up on video so I can be seen, my voice heard, and put a stake in the ground on how I can support and serve people. The second thing would be build an email list, but consistently. I did build an email list. I wasn't consistent with it. So I would definitely be consistent with that and know and really understand the importance of having that email list, because that's the one thing we do own. We do own that. That's our list. Nobody can take that away from us, but we do not own social media. So if those platforms go down, which they have, we lose access to our audience. But if we have that email list, they can't take that away from us. That's our audience to serve, nurture, and make offers to. The third thing would be collaborate, make connections, meet other entrepreneurs in the space. This is a lonely journey. And also it affords you the power. It offers you the power of leveraging other people's audiences, other people's stages, and you never know what comes from those collaborations. Find a mentor who teaches visibility, because that's what I was scared to do. And also client acquisition. Like the first thing you want to be doing in your business is acquiring clients. You need clients in order to gain testimonials and in order to generate revenue for your business. So you actually have a real business and not a hobby. So we definitely want to be like, I would definitely invest in a mentor that did that versus a mentor that teaches me a small piece of the puzzle. I would find somebody that gives me the whole thing, the whole transformation of getting me clients. And I would focus on, I just did that. Focus, basically that was 2 in 1. Focus on the full picture, like not on buying all these little mini courses and shiny object syndrome, because I was all over the place and I wasn't focused on the step I'm in. So this time I would stay in one step, stay in the step I'm in till I master that, and then move on to the next thing, versus trying to juggle 10 different courses at one time and trying to piecemeal my business together. The other thing I would do is get out of my own way, release perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I'm really good now at releasing perfectionism. Whenever it creeps up, I can tell right away that it's there and I let it go and I put it behind me, because perfectionism is paralyzing and that will keep you stuck where you're at. It'll bring the fear in and hold you back from stepping forward and going after your dreams. So doing it anyway, doing it through the fear, releasing perfectionism, getting them out of my own way so I can get out of being selfish and being stuck in my own stuff and actually serve people and give them the transformation that they're looking for. And I would practice gratitude and future gratitude much sooner than I started it, because I've seen the miracles that happen with the practice of gratitude and how freeing it can be and how much joy it brings to me, because it's really hard to be mad, sad, depressed, all the negative things when you're practicing gratitude and you're living a grateful life. So I hope these steps supported you. And again, when you're doing the gratitude, don't forget about the future gratitude, writing your future gratitude as if it's already happened. And sometimes I write until it stops flowing. It could be 5 things. It could be 25 things. Sometimes it could be a third of a page, and other days it'll be 2 full pages. I just write until the stream of consciousness stops flowing. And then I close my book for the day. So I hope that those steps have supported you today and have, given you some motivation and fire and some direction on if you're just getting started, or you've been in an entrepreneur for a while, but you're feeling like you're stuck and you don't know how to get to the next step. I hope that some of these have supported you. And if you have any things that you would do if you were to start over that I haven't mentioned here, please feel free to reach out. Send me a DM. I'm on Instagram, Heidi Shaw Coaching. You can reach me there. You can also join us in the Facebook group called Female Entrepreneurs and Leaders inside of Facebook. Would love to hear from you and get your feedback and your insight on what you would do if you had to start over. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next episode.